Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk tonight, I just want to get straight to the point, about the Vernon, Connecticut sobriety checkpoint. This is not a PSA, it's not an ad of any kind. I was on my way to the couple of stores with my wife. We were on our way to Walmart and Home Depot. Never made it to Home Depot. But we were on our way to both those. And there's a long line of traffic. And I'm thinking, oh boy, is this an accident? What happened? Oh, this is terrible. So we're waiting and waiting. As we get closer, started looking like there was a construction zone going on. I'm like, it was an odd time of day. It was like 6:30, 6:30. I'm like, oh, that's an odd time. Usually they're finishing up. So as we got closer, I just see a lot of cruisers, and I'm realizing, well, something ain't right here. So I get closer, and I see a sign that says sobriety checkpoint. Now, I've never been to a sobriety checkpoint ever in my entire life. Now, I've been through some speed traps that were disguised as sobriety checkpoints, which I'm fine with. I never had a problem with that. I was never driving drunk, so I wouldn't have an issue with that. But I went through it, long line, and I asked you, which was funny. This is exactly what he said. I don't remember the officer's name, and I wouldn't say it anyways. But he said, how are you? Where are you going? And where are you coming from? I thought to myself, after we went through, and I answered him, by the way, immediately. But as we left, as we kept on driving, I said to my wife, that's pretty odd, isn't it? Where am I going? Where does it matter where I'm going or where I came from? How is that his business? And no offense to the officer, he's doing his job, so I don't have a problem with that. But how is that his business where I'm going and where I'm coming from? Now, if there was a prison break, and I know there's one in Enfield, Connecticut, so I mean, or Summers, I'm not really familiar up in that area, so you could, if there's a big prison break or some sort, I could see why they're asking that. But it's a sobriety checkpoint. And it was just odd, and how quickly I answered the question. Because I felt obligated. And I thought, why? And that's when my wife and I were discussing. That's the future. I believe that that is the future for religion, for Christians. You're going to be going through checkpoints. You go through kind of daily work checkpoints and people checking who you are and checking your faith and so forth. But what happens? You need papers where you live. And you laugh and you don't think it's going to happen. Oh, it's going to happen. And I saw that and I realized that is the future. You're going to prove where you came from. And they'll disguise it as sobriety checkpoints. Now, I don't know how sobriety checkpoints work. I didn't look it up on Google. I don't know if you're supposed to blow in there or anything like that into a whatever it is, those things that people blow and they have in their cars and so forth. Where am I going and where I came from? So I told them I'm going to Manchester. Where am I coming from? Vernon. Have a nice. Do you have any alcohol or drugs in the car? No. Okay. Have a nice day. It's not exactly thorough questioning, but I guess that's good for them. But those checkpoints, that's the future. Checkpoints for Christians. It's going to happen. And that to me was eye-opening. And what I didn't stand, checking for sobriety at 6:30 in the afternoon. So maybe there was something else going on in Vernon. Maybe there was some sort of what do you call training or so forth. But they had more than one police department there. They had the Vernon Police Department. They had, I think it was East Hartford, Enfield, in Windsor. so, or South Windsor, I forget. Why are they all there? But they did stay to some point in the evening, because when we came back through around 9ish, they were still there. It's over on 83, by the way. Now, I'm not saying they were up to anything nefarious or anything like that, but I'm glad I went through it because it really made me think about that. Checkpoints for Christians, it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. Look out through time. I'm not comparing us to Nazi Germany and when they were looking for Jews and so forth. I'm not saying that. I'm not jumping to that. I don't want anybody to say, oh, you are making these crazy. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is people are always hunted or squirreled out or checkpoints to stop certain folks that they're looking for, and Christians will be who they're looking for. So I would pay attention to that in the future. I'm just saying. And again, Vernon, Connecticut, I'm not saying that you were up to anything nefarious. I'm just saying it was odd at 6:30 in the afternoon. I don't know how it works, so please don't. I'm not making a judgment on the police department. All I'm saying is I'm glad I went through it to be able to think about what the future may hold for Christians, for born-again Christians. Well, I appreciate you watching this video, and eventually I'm going to figure out how to put on subscribe buttons. I didn't want to try to get fancy. I didn't want to keep it simple, but I'm sure there's a way of putting buttons on there and so forth. So, I also have a podcast on Spotify under the same title, Everyday Man of God. I just got that up and going, so I'm excited about that. And I have a Twitter account with the same name. I guess I'm marketing. I don't know. Have a great day, and God bless.